For years, Intel have basically had a monopoly in the processor market. After having no competition for so long, Intel basically didn't have to make any progress in their processors as long as they made a new line of them every year or so. But now that AMD's Ryzen is out, things are changing. Meet AMD's Ryzen line, their first processors that can actually compete with Intel at the same price point, sometimes for even cheaper than Intel's offers. For the first time in a long time, there is an alternate to Intel CPUs, and that's why I'm here. Hey guys, this is Nick, and in today's video we're going to be showing you the ultimate $600 Ryzen video PC build. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. First, we have the processor, which is, of course, the AMD Ryzen 5 1500X quad-core processor, coming in at $185. At $185, this comes in a little steep for the budget end of processors, but don't worry because this processor delivers great performance. Edging Intel's i5 series, more in specific the 7600, this processor works great for productivity and gaming. With 4 cores and 8 threads, this thing can do some serious work. It is an insanely powerful processor that pushes out great performance for the price tag. While this maybe won't beat out top-of-the-line processors like Intel's i7, this is still a great CPU and does incredible in everything you throw at it. As I said earlier, you can buy this processor for $185. Up next, we have the motherboard, which is the MSI A320M Gaming Pro motherboard that comes in at about $65. Now, I'm not going to pretend I know a ton about motherboards, but this one will do the job just fine. There are 2 memory slots, which should do the average gamer just fine, and it's a steal for the price point. And although there is no SLI or Crossfire support, at the price point of just above $50 and at a budget like $600, most people in this price range won't be looking for SLI support anyways. For the price, this motherboard will do you no harm, and it's a nice addition to the build. As I said previously, you can pick it up for $65. For the RAM, we have Crucial's 8GB DDR4 RAM stick, which you can pick up for just about $40 or so. Now, of course, there's the argument that you should use 16 gigs of RAM, and if you want to, you can do so. But 8 gigs will do you just fine, and we had to downgrade something to fit in all the parts in at such a modest budget. I've mentioned this in my older videos, but I played on 6 gigs of RAM on my old computer, and AAA titles such as Tomb Raider and The Witcher 3 played just fine, with at most some minor stuttering. So if 6 gigs can play AAA titles, 8 gigs will do all of you just fine. Now, of course, I do recommend upgrading to 16 gigs of RAM in the future, but a lot of people just don't have that money. On the plus side, there is a singular stick of RAM instead of 2 4GB sticks, so you can upgrade to 16 in the future if you choose to do so. As I said previously, this RAM will cost you about $40. Now, for storage, we have the Western Digital 1TB hard drive for about $35. Now, there's not much to say about this one, but 1TB of storage will do most people just fine. Of course, it isn't the fastest storage in the world, but at this price point, it's a lot of storage, and you'll be able to store all of your games on there easily. If you have the money, I would recommend getting a 128GB SSD for about $50 to complement this hard drive, since an SSD makes everything faster, but again, some people just don't have the money. But at this price point, the storage will do you just fine for storing movies, games, and much more. You can buy this hard drive for about $35 as previously stated. For the case, we have the Bitfenix Nova ATX mid-tower case for about $20. Now, those of you who know me or have seen my other videos from me know that I just don't really see the purpose in getting an aesthetically pleasing case for $50 or $100 when the point of a computer isn't the computer's looks itself, but the power the computer can produce. I've used this case in previous builds, and it's nice enough looking and gets the job done of housing all of your parts at a decently cheap price. It's a good case that gets the job done for about $20 as previously stated. For the PSU, we have the EVGA 550-watt power supply for about $25. Now, I'm no expert in PSUs, but this power supply isn't immensely special or anything, but it will do you just fine. It has enough power for all the parts in the video, and it will most likely last you a couple of years. 550 watts is a bit on the skimpy side of things, but for the most part, it should do you just fine. You can buy this for about $25, as previously stated. And last, but certainly not least, we have the graphics card, and I chose the new Radeon RX 580 8GB model to top it all off, coming in at about $230. This is a refreshed Polaris card, and it's the predecessor to the immensely successful RX 480. For $230, the graphics card gives you crazy performance. It is the direct competitor with the GTX 1060 6GB model, and in most cases it beats it out in pure power for an even cheaper price. I myself am an NVIDIA user, but nobody can deny the power that the AMD have packed into this card. This card will do you great in gaming, productivity, and pretty much anything you try to throw at it. I think this might be one of the best price to performance cards on the market right now, other than the RX 570, which we'll get to in a later video. At the end of the day, for $230, you really can't go wrong with this card. So overall, with all the prices added up, not including mail-in rebates or shipping, the cost of the PC comes in at just under $600. So did we meet our goal? I'd say yes. I think these videos do a wonderful job at showing you just how much power you can pack into such a modest budget. This PC is a great pickup at $600 and will do you justice for up to 3 to 4 years down the line. And that's about it for today's video. I hope you guys all enjoyed. Please subscribe if you are new around here and tell me what you'd like to see next from me. And as always, I will see you guys all later. Bye guys.